I am a bird calling. None of the other birds are hearing me, but it's okay. But I'm like, I guess I gotta pass their maze and my own maze, which I'm not sure if I am passing or failing because everything is all for me to learn something and to give a blueprint or an idea of something out into existence for a reason. For even allowing me to have the information I have. So I can't help but to have a light shined on me. But a person dressed in dark, okay. I don't see how that works out. I don't see how I can't match what I feel on the inside, on the outside. Instead of allowing trauma to consume or dictate me. But this is entertainment purpose only. Viewer advised. Information that I am telling you is just an expressionist of my reality and of my gifts, spiritual gifts. This is something that I believe that I have the capability of comprehending and receiving these information to give to you. But I let little things get the best of me to have me to stay up here to deliver these messages longer than I can. Because I'm trying to speak of everyone from all generations, or either who are from Earth or not from Earth, or whatever planet or whatever galaxy you are born from. I'm so I'm supposed to be able to access all information of you to help solve your issue and mine, and cleaning up karma debt for my ancestors and yours. That's a lot of jobs that I'm taking on this challenge of understanding of how to be a true shaman. And it's more to it than just using the gift of vision to heal from the past and from mistakes, and teaching others or showing what you have learned during your path of enlightenment. All you have to do is just plant the seed for other people to see what true enlightenment looks like. You're not telling them, this is what it looks like. This is what I saw in my awakening. You might see something different in yours. So, thank you. Much appreciative of you. But it's like, it's weird because we gotta get out of our ego. Hold on. This is why I don't channel in the house or an apartment complex. I go outside because I can feel almost every vibration. And it triggers me. Like, it either makes me roll over or fight. And I'm like, because when I'm using my spirit ears to hear in this realm, it's like a flip mirror. Everything triggers me in an emotional reaction towards like my human conscious. And it's like, what the fuck is that? Why is that happening? So it's actually analyzing what it's hearing. But then there's a version of me that can suck in the information from the sound frequency. So whatever visions pops up from that sound frequency, I'm gonna get triggered, whether it's good or bad, because I'm realizing I'm tapping into something outside of myself that is attracting that frequency towards me to hear. So it's like, okay. And your trauma can do that to you too. So, like when you revisit memories, trying to clear up like shadow work and stuff, trying to work on yourself and overcome challenges in your trauma. Say you have to go back to a specific time in your memory and you're able to grab the energy of the sound, of the frequency, of that vibration that took it to have it to be created, and you experiencing it at that same time. So you're grabbing a lot of energy and you're not releasing and what you created for you to order to go to the good part of the vision. There has to be a bad and a good part of it. Is to see how you are able to get out of certain chaos that you created, or you seeing other people chaos, you're able to get out of their situation and you're able to help them with their blueprint. But if they don't want the information, there's nothing we can do for them but just let them be. But we know that there is going to be a moment of time where their timeline might interrupt our timeline because we did not help them in that correct moment as we should, when we should have, because we had the answers like right then and there for them, just like we had the answer for ourselves. So yeah, yes, duality release, let go of ego, most definitely. It's not only until you're in a duality mindset to understand how to operate as a duality conscious. You're not going to know what's duality just as of yet until you learn something bad from it to learn something good to it, or to have something good from the outcome to it. So, of course, you're going to want to fuck up to tell the universe, hey, I want to learn something so I can fix my mistake. Good job. One way to travel. Because I do the same. Like, but I don't do it in a way where it fucks up both of our timeline minds and the other person. I do it to where that person can get some gems and I can get some gems. Either I can choose to steal the knowledge that they have not learned from all to myself and share with people who really needs it, or watch them fall. Sometimes I like a little bit of both, and I like a little bit of both with myself. But I can't do that. That's not my choice. I can't. Just because I'm back to source and I know thyself does not mean I get to control or dictate every decision making. But the form of thoughts, using energy. And not everybody will get me. I'm not meant to be. Like, I speak of code. I speak of frequencies that I have already traveled to that you're just now getting onto. And I already been there. And I'm waiting for the ones, or I'm waiting for y'all to catch up so that I can continue what's beyond this vision that I have, or we're both seeing at the same time. Because I'm not alone. Like, I'm not the only one who has this vision. And we might be traveling on a destiny, but we won't travel in the same place, but we will travel in the same direction in a way, so we can learn from one another. And it's not about who has more or less. It's about who's taking over of breaking all matrix of all dimensions, not just one, because I can do plenty, many. I can break all multiple dimensions matrix all at once by having all of my avatars like think of the same thought process. And if we're chanting and desiring the same thing, odds are one of us is moving up in a checkerboard. Like, okay, if one of my avatars thinking of me traveling, it's going to allow me to travel. It's going to think of ways for me to travel. It's going to think of ways for me to have certain things that I need without actually like begging, meaning to put words into reality when I can just think of it. I had a hard time learning that, but I eventually learned it. So it's not about what you're gonna say. It's about how you're gonna do it and how you're gonna be about it. Sometimes you gotta be tough to yourself. And yeah, I'm learning. Trust me, I'm learning. But any questions? Anything else? Like if it's on topic of about visions. Because when you use the gift of visions, you don't have to be asleep to dream. You can actually be wide awake to dream. You just have to have the conscious aware of what it's imagining to let it prosper, let it fulfill its purpose of what you imagine. Because if you go against what you imagine, you're going against your law of the universe. Because you put contracts on yourself that you purposely bow down to coexist in this 3D like world. And when you don't practice what you preach, that's conflict to spirit. That's conflict to ego as well. Then you're putting them two into jeopardy because although ego wants to learn how to be spiritual, but it does not know how to teach spiritual. So it needs a spirit that's within the ego that already knows spirituality based off what it observed in its respective of reality and others as well, and able to dial in, tap back in, and be possessed of thy knowledge, self-knowledge, and wisdom to deliver, I guess. I don't know. But yeah. Thank you. I'm here for you too. Sorry, I had to space out for a minute. I was like, let me space out. So, when we go through our deaths, we had a lot of moments where we was just an NPC character, right? We wasn't fully conscious or aware of ourselves or of our energy. And there was a moment of reality where we had a moment where we get to touch the hourglass of the universe, tipping it to our time of direction, where we can jump into any realm or any space that we desire. I imagine. And when we do that, of course, we have to let go of people that we came with in this earth. But we also have to make amends with our past so that our past doesn't become a present and our past present doesn't become our future present. Everything in the future will be exactly as it aligned with your purpose of your reality, with your thoughts and motion. And when the subconscious is in conflict with spirit, making the ego fight with spirit because your head ain't screwed on tight. You're not focused. You're not paying attention enough. You're not focusing on the details. Pay attention to the details because that's is important. They put a cloth over you to make you not see the details because you created that maze for you. You have to unlock those gems. You created those cheat codes. You're welcome. But it's hard to access our cheat codes when we're in trauma, right? And when gods or creations, creators, demigods, whatever, spirit, all the above, energy. When we get into trauma, we shut down. What happens to our planet and our star system when we shut down? It doesn't look pretty, does it? On our end. But when somebody comes up along with their light, trying to shine their light upon our light, but they want their light to equal up as theirs. But when we shine ours just a little bit of our own, what we created, what we decide, it hurts them. It hurts the one that told us to turn it on and the ones that told us to turn it off. It hurts them. And then, so it hurts you seeing how your light hurts both parties. Imagine that. Imagine not being accepted by both individuals, both types of spirit. The one that created you to tell you to turn it on, and the one that tells you to turn it off. Who are you going to listen to more? The one that told you to turn it off, right? So that you can imagine more how to turn it back on each time. So when you're losing people, oh, it don't bother you. When you're losing friends, connection, oh, it don't bother you. But it bother you, but you know that it's gonna elevate your characteristics of knowing you only need yourself, thyself. Because you can, all you're doing is holding other people's consciousness that you're not responsible for. Not even for the actions that they created in their lives, you're not responsible for it. And they have to walk through the fire just like you did. Welcome to the Order of the Phoenix. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're understanding what it means to rise above the ashes of both. Not shutting yourself out once you master their lessons, and then you not mastering your lessons, but then you master it, but now you want to mask what you mastered, and then you want to rebirth what you mastered to give what was taught to you onto them. Make it make sense, Venus. And yeah, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to myself. Because, like, don't be a hypocrite and don't say practice what you preach when you're scared of little outcomes that you know you can survive off of. And it's just little tests. It's just look up. You can squash it like a bug. And speaking of bugs, microchips. You're welcome. That's all I can say. Thank you very much. It's like once you see something, you can't unsee it. Exactly. So why sugarcoat what? Why sugarcoat what you see? That's not using the gift. And then going back into the gift with a duality consciousness, when you raise the devil version of you consciousness into a good version, both of you can coexist using the same gift properly. But teach the bad version of you good, and teach the good version of you boundaries, learning to protect. Because the good version of you has to protect the bad version of itself from sabotaging itself and other people around it while delivering. Don't do that. Took me a minute. Took me a minute to understand what it means to be a villain and a superhero. Because villains and superheroes, although they do wear masks, is just why light bringers. Why should we wear one? Because who are we saving? Never mind. Oh God. And no, I'm like, should I say that? I don't know. Who wears the cape? Who puts on the cape? Who tells the superhero to go save somebody? Or does the superhero just have supernatural instinct to go save somebody because they can? You're welcome. I try to put shit the best way I can. I'm not the best at it. You too. Thank you for joining. Much appreciate. Love you. Had a good conversation. But yeah. It's just dead silence. Anybody else on online? If not, good. I can like end it right here. I just want to drop my gems for the day. And what I'm learning and processing. But yeah. Anyway, until then, see you in the ether.